you're very for Israel, and I totally understand why from a surface sense, from a biblical sense. But as a Christian man who is about to have a little girl in October, here's my problem. In the Talmud, they talk about sexual intercourse with the little girl is permitted if she is under 3 years of age.
No, the Talmud does not permit relations with girls under the age of 3. That is a lie promoted by those who are just looking to demonize Judaism and slander Jews as sexually immoral. Although Charlie Kirk did a great job refuting many of this individual's other claims, he did say that he was not familiar with this particular accusation. Since I am familiar with it, and because this lie continues to spread among people online who honestly have never even read a full page of the Talmud, I think it is worth addressing. But first, why am I even making a video refuting lies about the Talmud? The Talmud has no religious authority for me personally, so why bother? Well, the reason is actually quite simple. The truth matters. I can't stand being lied to. It makes me very angry when people spread goofy nonsense online, whether they do it out of malice or because they are mindless sheep who just repeat claims without verifying them. Whether it is about religion, politics, or whatever else, just give me accurate information. That's all I want. And so, if you also care about accurate information, then keep watching. If not, go watch a Candace Owens or Ian Carroll video. So what exactly is the Talmud? Well, many people assume that it is basically the Jewish Bible, and that any given passage in the Talmud is representative of what Jews generally believe. But that is not the case. The Talmud is not the Bible for Jews. Judaism's Bible is what they call the Tanakh, which stands for Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, or in English, Law, Prophets, and Writings. The Tanakh consists of the same collection of books contained in what most Christians call the Old Testament. So the Talmud is not Judaism's Bible. It is a centuries-long compilation of Jewish commentary on the Tanakh. It contains many diverse and sometimes even conflicting opinions among rabbis about the Hebrew Scriptures, and there are many rulings in the Talmud that Jews consider inapplicable today. To be sure, there are some statements in the Talmud that I don't like and that I consider wrong and problematic. But I could say the same thing about various Christian commentaries. I take issue with certain statements from Augustine, John Chrysostom, and Martin Luther, and others, and I'm not alone. Christians don't consider the commentaries from those Christian thinkers to be inspired by God, and while we might benefit from their insights on some things, we are also free to disregard their bad or morally objectionable opinions. It is the same thing with the Talmud. While the Talmud does carry a certain authority in guiding Jewish practice, we should not just assume that any given statement in the Talmud represents what Jews generally believe. So before we proceed, I just wanted to provide a more accurate understanding of what we're actually dealing with here. Even if we granted, purely for the sake of argument, the worst and most outrageous claims made about the Talmud, that still would not mean that such ideas represent actual Jewish belief and practice today. Having said that, however, many of the accusations against the Talmud are just demonstrably false, and the claim that the Talmud permits sexual relations with girls under 3 is one such false accusation. So let's turn to that issue. Again, the claim is that the Talmud permits sexual relations with girls under 3. However, one immediate problem with this claim is that the Talmud explicitly prohibits a man from having sexual relations with anyone who is not his wife. Some Talmudic rulings even impose lashes on those who engage in sex outside of marriage. So, given that the Talmud elsewhere condemns extramarital sex, where on earth does this idea come from that it permits it in the case of girls under 3? Well, it comes from this passage. Quote, Rava said that this is what the Mishnah is saying. An adult man who engaged in intercourse with a minor girl less than 3 years old has done nothing, as intercourse with a girl less than 3 years old is tantamount to poking a finger into the eye. If you don't understand the context of this rabbinic discussion, you can see how this passage could be twisted to say that the Talmud, quote, permits relations with a girl under 3. However, it is important to understand what this rabbinic discussion is even about. The passage is not talking about what is right or wrong, and it is not giving a moral opinion on this activity. It is addressing a specific legal question. What is that legal question? Well, the passage appears in a tractate titled Ketubot, which is the plural form of ketubah. A ketubah is a marriage contract that outlines the husband's obligations to his wife, including his financial obligations in the case of divorce or death. We also need to understand that, from the perspective of the sages, the marriage contract of a virgin is worth more than that of a non-virgin. So what is the context of this rabbinic discussion about the girl under 3 years of age? The discussion revolves around what monetary rights she is entitled to if widowed or divorced. What is the ruling? Well, if, tragically, a girl younger than 3 is assaulted, for ketubah purposes, the law treats her as though the assault had never taken place. This ensures that she retains the full monetary rights that she is entitled to, since she obviously did nothing wrong. And the passage is not saying that the man did nothing wrong. The Talmud makes it clear elsewhere that it is wrong. The focus of this legal discussion is on the value of the ketubah if she is assaulted, not whether the assault itself was right or wrong. Think about it this way. If you opened up Title 18 of the United States Code, which outlines criminal procedure for federal crimes, you'll see that the language there is clinically technical. It spells out financial and criminal consequences without pausing to express outrage for the crimes committed. When it comes to sexual assault, for example, Title 18 of the United States Code simply describes the penalties. It doesn't pause to say, oh, and by the way, sexual assault is evil. No, it assumes that the act is morally wrong, and it describes what is to be done. In the same way, this rabbinic discussion already presumes the wrongness of harming a child and simply concentrates on the practical question of how to safeguard her financial rights. Stop listening to Jew-hating propagandists online and stop repeating their lies like some mindless sheep. Hey, I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more content like this, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to hit that little bell so that you'll be notified when new videos like this are released. One last thing, be sure to connect with me on my website, davidwilber.com. There, you can find a ton of free resources like articles and videos, learn more about the books that I've written, and subscribe to my newsletter to ensure you never miss an update. Again, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.